The best hack to saving money and stop over consuming, as someone who paid off $40,000 credit card debt this year and is now consumer debt free, is to stop consuming media. Yeah. I stopped doom scrolling on TikTok. I don't have Facebook. I'm barely on Instagram. The only social media I use is probably YouTube, but I'm literally just playing Christmas music all the time. That's actually, YouTube is where I listen to a lot of my music. But other than that, I don't consume any media at all because I felt like I always felt influenced to get the next cool thing, the next cool set, when I honestly didn't even need it.
The credit card debt problem is getting out of hand in America so fast that so many Americans are in so much debt beyond what they can pay back. In a large part, it really stems from the lack of financial literacy and financial responsibility. For instance, this girl literally just admitted that she was copying the people she was seeing online on social media, and that she was buying all these things not because she needed them, but just because she saw someone else having them and she thought she needed them. This is the reason Americans have over $1.2 trillion in debt, and that number is only growing every year. With the interest rate on these credit cards being so high right now, the average over 26%, 60% of Americans say they'll never be able to pay their cards back. This has caused a near hopeless situation for a lot of these people who are in tens of thousands of dollars of credit card debt, and that number is only growing due to accrued interest every month. This is why delinquencies and bankruptcies in America are both on the rise, and people's lives have never become more stressed.
I am saying this out loud for the first time, but I have $1,800 of credit card debt at 20 years old. Now you may be like, wow, Elise, like, you're so irresponsible. How could you do that? Well, I drained all of my savings and ended up moving over 200 miles away from where I was. I'd already had about $1,000 of accumulated debt by that point, due to rent, utilities, groceries, stuff like that. Now, some of you guys may know, I live in my dad's basement, so it's not really like I'm giving him very much. Like, I try and keep the house clean, I do the dishes, I mop the floors and stuff, but I am living rent-free. Because of that, I really don't like to ask him for any money for groceries and stuff like that, and I pay for all of my gas by myself. He does pay me about $2 an hour to help my siblings every month work through school stuff because they're unschooled. But $200 is about the amount of gas to just go to school for 1 month. Now, I do drive part way and then take the bus the rest of the way, so I'm not paying for parking. But I do have some pretty chaotic days where I have to drive to a separate city for class. I just realized that if I ever want to get my CNA certificate, I need to somehow come up with $150 in order to just get the paper that says that I am a certified nurse assistant. And I need that to apply to my nursing program in January. I just don't really know what to do with everything financially because I barely have enough time to help my siblings with their schoolwork. But if I have to get a job on top of my credits and everything, then I don't know what my grades are going to look like. Especially with this like sleep disorder stuff I'm dealing with. Like, I always thought that it was because of how much melatonin I took to fall asleep at night. And then I went off of melatonin and all of a sudden I'm still falling asleep during the day. And then I go to my doctor and she's like, yeah, this is not normal. So I don't know what to do. But if any of you guys have ideas, I would appreciate it.
So in August of last year, I was $100K in credit card debt. You can see all the totals here. You can see the months here. And I grew up with Dave Ramsey parents. They taught me credit cards are evil, debit always, only. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. But here's why that $100K in credit card debt was actually positive. One, there's this little thing called return on ad spend. You run paid advertisements. For every dollar you put in, you get X number of dollars back. That was a very profitable campaign. Like, if you had a magic machine that was like, you put $1 in, we give you $2 back, how many times would you do that? Unlimited times. Number two, this one is credit card specific. American Express gives you 4 times points on paid advertisements. Now, I've used some, I've made some more back, but I will not be paying for a flight for a very long time. So my recommendation to you, get a credit card ASAP if you don't have one. Use it like a debit card. Take advantage of the bonuses, and you will be earning back while building your credit score, which helps you as an adult. I should probably have an affiliate link for you, but I don't.
They sued me, y'all. The bank sued me for a credit card debt. But I flipped the script. Guess who's gotta pay? It ain't me. That's right. I flipped the script when the credit card company sued me for credit card debt, and they end up having to pay me. It's time for you guys to learn how to do this. I want you to go ahead and follow, share, because I'm about to show you what the banks and the debt collectors hope you never learn.
I have a total of 6 credit card accounts that I need to pay off, and starting from smallest to biggest, the first one is my Saver One Capital One card. On that one, I owe $461.29. My Freedom card, I owe $1,995.86. On my Capital One card, I owe $4,293.07. On my Best Buy card, I owe $5,708.64. My Chase credit card, I owe $6,702.66. On my Discover card, which is the last card, the biggest one, I owe $10,927.42. This is a lot of credit card debt to have at the age of 25, and I do not recommend it to anybody in their 20s to do this. However, I could either sit down and beat myself up and hate myself every single day for the decisions that I made in the past 5 years, or I could get up and make something out of this. That's my goal with this TikTok account. I want to hold myself accountable to pay this debt off, and I want to serve as an encouragement to others that are on the same boat as I am. Even if you're not in any credit card debt, let this be your reminder to be smart with your money, to make sure that you know where your money is going every single paycheck. Do not let your emotions lead to carelessly spending your money, which is something that I did for several years. I'm fixing it now, I'm taking action, and that's all that matters. I no longer feel embarrassed about the amount of credit card debt that I have. I don't feel ashamed. I just see this as a number. I know that other people have much more credit card debt than I do, and they seem to be fine, so I know that I'm going to be okay. All I ask is that you guys support me on this journey to paying off my debt. If you're on a debt payoff journey as well, let's do this together and let's become debt free. I am tired of seeing these numbers. For a long time, I actually ignored them. I'm facing my debt all over again, and I'm going to pay it off in 2026.
Put a finger down if you're 31 years old and you've accumulated over $40,000 in credit card debt over the last 10 years, and you've never really had a plan or take it seriously until a few months ago when you realize just paying the minimum payments just isn't going to make a dent in your progress, and now you're finally ready to start this journey and take it seriously, and you're not ashamed to talk about it.
Women have more credit card debt than men. 50% of women reported that they only have $500 in their checking account after paying all their bills and expenses. 51% of women over the age of 50 don't have anything saved for retirement. Yet when we gather, all our conversations seem to be about men and dating, when in reality we have bigger fish to fry. I think these conversations we're having are a coping mechanism and avoiding what the real issues in our lives are. A man is not going to come save you, babe. You have to save you.
I have $52 left at the bank to last until Friday. Today is Monday. I have $135 coming out between now and then in credit card debt. A little bit stressed, but this is usually how it is for me most weeks. So if you do the math, we're going to be negative a little over $80, and I also have 33 miles left till empty. I can get away with putting about $15 in my car. Let's just say we're going to be negative about $100. Lucky for me though, I did do a pet sitting job over the weekend. It was a small one. I get paid for that today. She owes me $50. A lot of my clients do tip, so we'll see what comes of that. At least I won't be negative $100. Do you know that I need at least roughly $50 now to get me through the week? I would love to start Instacarting, but I've been trying to sign up for 2 years, and it always says I'm on the wait list. I don't know how to go about that. I've emailed them. I did DoorDash a few years ago, and in my area, it's just not really worth it. So yeah. When I say I'm drowning in credit card debt, I truly mean I feel like I'm drowning in credit card debt. If I was not in $9,000 worth of credit card debt, I would not be in this situation right now. I would not go negative all the time in the bank. So that's when I brought my debt to TikTok. It was embarrassing at first, but then I realized this is real life. If you're in a similar situation like me, I say this in every video, but I highly encourage you to start a series, whether it's credit card debt, medical bills, whatever it is. Start a series. People will follow along because they want to be able to come back and check where you've gotten with your progress. Hopefully this month we are going to pay off my next lowest credit card, which is sitting a little under $600. We're just going to keep on keeping on.
As of 2 months ago, my husband and I had $43,500 in credit card debt. Yeah, you heard that right. How does that happen? 2 months ago, I cried out to the Lord, asking for wisdom, asking him to help us to pay this off, telling him that I am willing to do what we need to do to get out of this hole that we have dug ourselves into. And he began to give me steps to take to do that. And I kid you not, y'all, over the last 2 months, I have actually seen that number go down. I've been tracking this for the last year, and as of 2 months ago, we had more debt 2 months ago than we did a year ago, and all of our cards have had 0% interest. We've been paying the minimum payments, which is a huge chunk, which means that it should have been going down over the last year, but instead it's gotten higher. But since I started implementing the steps that the Lord was giving me 2 months ago, we've actually been seeing that go down. And then a couple days ago, I felt this call by the Lord to start posting this debt payoff journey online to inspire hope. Because right now, times are really hard. And I keep hearing left and right that people aren't even able to afford groceries. People are just drowning in debt. People don't know what to do. And so by sharing my story of what the Lord has been teaching us and what we are doing, I'm hoping that this will inspire hope in your situation, that no matter how bad it looks, if you follow him and you do what it is that he's asking you to do, if you're willing to have your mindsets changed, you can get out of this hole that you are into. If you have been in debt and you have gotten out of it, I am totally teachable. Please post it in the comments, like what you have done that has helped you. If you're not in debt, you're welcome here to spectate. And if you're ready to be able to steward an abundant life, follow along, because I'm going to the promised land. I don't want to continue going in cycles like this, like the Israelites did for 40 years. I want to eventually get to the promised land.
Eggs are still high, maybe you feel in hard times, but for whatever reason, you have decided to pay your rent instead of your credit card bill. I do not blame you, but here's what happens when you do not pay your credit card. As someone with 5 credit cards, I did not pay. I ended up having all 5 of them charged off, and that happens usually between 120 days of being late and 150 days of being late. A lot of people assume that as soon as the creditor ends up charging off the card, they're immediately coming at you. For some creditors like Discover, Navy Federal Credit Union, that is 100% true. They want their money back. You do have some creditors that feel like you're grown and you're an adult, and if you needed help, you should have opened your mouth. You didn't, so charge off and you'll just deal with the aftermath when we make our next move. That next move can easily be that creditor is going to sell that debt with a bunch of other debt on a spreadsheet because Midland came a knocking and offered them $50. And I'm not going to lie to you, that is probably your best case scenario. If your debt ends up getting purchased by a debt collector, it's a lot easier to go to war with them than to duke it out with a creditor who definitely can get a judge on their side. Debt collectors usually do not have standing. They cannot prove that you owe the debt, and really they only got a couple of bank statements in your name. Do not let people on the internet lie to you and say that charge off means that they went ahead and actually wrote this off on their taxes, because no, charge off is just an accounting term because they need it for their own books. There is no statute of limitations on when they can write that debt off on their taxes. It could be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and if it's over $600, you will get a 1099-C, or at least you should. Depending on statute of limitations in your state, and typically for credit cards, it's 3 years. After 3 years, they can't sue you because charge-offs on credit cards make other credit card companies not want to give you a credit card because duh. Go ahead and click the link in my bio. You can work with me one-on-one.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if every time you are about to order food online or go out to eat or get a coffee or get a sweet treat, you have to check your bank account first, put the phone down and go open up your refrigerator, your cabinets. You are in no place to be buying a service. And my credentials for saying this is this time last year, I was in over $13,000 of credit card debt. I'm now down to about $5,700. I've cut it down over half. And I love a good delivery service. I love not leaving my apartment. I love being lazy, and I love not cooking when I don't want to cook. But when you are in debt, that is just simply not a luxury that you are able to afford. Because first of all, ordering out, that's already a luxury that you can't afford if you're in debt. But now, to even be more lazy, you are now paying somebody to come bring it to you. So you're paying for two services when you can cook. You can make something. Or if you really don't have anything, you can go to the grocery store and get stuff for probably the same cost as one meal that will allow you to make several meals. This is just honestly the hard reality of being in debt and trying to pay it off is you do not have the luxury of paying for these services. You need to stop being lazy and do it.
Okay, so I've been getting a lot of comments like that. And I want to address it because I know it's all fun and games and we laugh about it like, oh, I don't really care about a credit score. Like I got more problems in my life than a credit score. But the reason I'm making this is because credit is really important. You don't just need it to buy a house. You need it if you're trying to get an apartment, if you're trying to get a car. Car insurance right now is insanely high. And guess what? They use your credit score for that. A lot of jobs, especially in the financial industry, they look at your credit like they do. You may not see it. There's a whole other report on your credit report that's for soft inquiries, and it won't show you on like Credit Karma or something. That's why I always say, look at your full credit report. You would be surprised. Sometimes even your utilities will check to see where your credit is at. So I know credit is not the most important thing in life. Obviously, health comes first, your family. I mean, what's ever happening in the world today, but credit can really change your life. Like it can hold a lot of your life in its 3-digit score because again, it's going to affect where you live. It's going to affect what you drive and it's going to affect how much you're spending every month on your bills. So I get it. Credit is a weird system, but I'm here to educate. And this is the whole reason why I make my videos. Like, I get it. I 100% get it. I'm not one of those fake gurus or whatever that says, hey, fix your credit because I want you to sign up with me or anything like that. No, I'm saying it as a personal experience. I was a single mom before. I'm remarried. I've bought 2 houses now. I know how important credit is. So all jokes aside, credit's important. If you need help with it, you can certainly fix it on your own or ask somebody, but make sure that you're taking it serious because you never know when you're going to need your credit score in your life. Oh, and I guess I might have a part 3 on that. Stay tuned.
Take this as your sign, especially if you are like young as fuck. Don't get that credit card. So I'm currently dealing with a lawsuit, partake on myself. But I recently got into the National Debt Relief Program and I've been doing that, but I'm not sure what's going to happen. But this is your sign. Don't get that pinche credit card, bro. Don't get it. You don't need it. Just make your money and use your day-to-day money. You don't need that credit card. I do not need this fucking credit card. Yes, it did pay for a little bit of my school and then my like school kit thing that I had to buy, but other than that, it's just been collecting interest. I haven't been able to pay because I've been unemployed, and now that I am employed, I decided to get on this national debt relief thing. But yeah, don't get that credit card, bro. You don't fucking need it. Don't get that credit.
Let's do a credit card debt update. If you're new here, my name is Krista. My husband and I have been in the process of paying off a boatload of debt on a modest income for a while now. I was doing some digging into our numbers to look ahead to next year, and if we want to get our credit cards all paid off next year, how much do we need to put towards the credit cards each month in order for that to happen? Right now, the money that we're making from each of our main jobs is going towards bills, and there really isn't anything left over to put towards credit cards. So how we are able to put money towards those credit cards to get them paid off is to do side hustles. We have 2 credit cards left that we are working on paying off, and the total balances of the 2 together is $6,095. So that means if we want to get them paid off by the end of 2026, we would need to put $507.92 towards our credit cards each month. That feels totally doable with the side hustles that we have right now. But we also have other debt that we want to pay off after we finish the credit cards. And so I feel like we need to move this timeline along a little bit. $500 a month from our side hustles is just not going to cut it. So in 2026, I know we need to get that number up. I have some thoughts on how I'm going to do that, but one step at a time. Right now, we know what has to happen to get the credit cards paid off. Hopefully, we can get our side hustle income up next year so that we can get that paid off faster and move on to the other debts much quicker.
My heart is beating 1,000,000 miles per hour, and I'm shaking because I'm about to share with the world how much debt I am in. So get ready. Before I tell you the total amount, I want to preface this by saying I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm really not even looking for advice. I'm not looking for your opinions. There's nothing that you can say to me that I haven't already said to myself. This is 13 years worth of really bad financial decisions, being irresponsible, really bad mental health episodes. There's no excuse for it. I have been praying and I've been asking God to lift this off of my shoulders and to help me find a way to take care of this and to get ourselves out of debt so that I can stop saying things to my kids like, we can't afford that. This debt is spread out over 11 credit cards. This is just credit card debt. We have payments on these credit cards ranging from $30 all the way up to $620, which is why we are barely making it paycheck to paycheck, because all of our money is going to credit card payments. Like, I'm going to throw up. I'm ready to share my truth. I'm ready to share my story, to figure this out. Whether it takes a year or 10 years to get it paid off, I'm gonna take you guys through all of it, through the ups and the downs, hard times, the good times, and the amount of credit card debt that I am in. $88,811. Okay, I'm going to go throw up and probably not show my face on this app for the rest of the day because I can't believe I'm admitting this to the world.
Guys, just listen to this. This is such a cautionary tale that this girl had over 11 cards open. We really need to be careful out there and not overspend above our means, because this is exactly the trap these credit card companies are banking us to fall into. Because once we open these cards and once we start racking up a balance, these credit card companies charge an insane amount of interest, and most people don't even realize how much they're being charged. Over 60% annualized rate in some cases, which means if you owe $10,000 in credit card debt and you don't pay that down, just in a year's time, that amount will be $13,000. And next year, it'll be like $17,000, and it just grows and compounds from there every year, and you'll never be able to pay that back. We as a society really start looking at adopting a minimalist approach and not just racking up as much debt in loans as we could, because owing people money that you cannot pay back can only end in disaster.